lead it off, baby. FTR, Sting, and Darby.
Man.
You must have been salivating over this one.
Oh, baby. I mean, you just turned my world right round, baby. Right round. Like a record, baby. Round,
Watch
round,
out. We don't want to get
round.
demonetized.
You absolutely yeah, that's funny, but honest to God, like you just turned my world around. This was a match that was absolutely, for me as a tag team guy, I just sit back and I watch FTR. My first and foremost, like, guys, FTR are so damn good at what they do. Let that soak in. I mean, I know that when we got to watch Bryan Danielson versus Kenny earlier in the night, I was telling myself, like, all right, I'm witnessing greatness right now. Guys, FTR versus Sting and Darby Allin, we got to witness greatness in this match. And I know it wasn't the 30-minute epic that the opener was, but there is no one. And again, I love the AEW tag division. For those of you who have been with us since week 1 of this one year journey, you know SPD and I have had a lot of conversations, and I have planted my flag on 2 things. The DMD is a breakout superstar of this company, and the tag division in AEW is the best tag division that I've ever seen. And they have, as I've said, they have dialed back the tag division a little bit and allowed other. I mean, this company has gotten so flooded with talent, guys. It's unbelievable. But FTR, whenever I get to see these guys in the ring, I'm reminded that this tag division, whenever Tony wants, he could snap his fingers and he could put on clinic after clinic after clinic every single week in the tag division. If he just throws out some of the long list of great tag teams that this division has, and it starts with the uncrowned tag team champions, FTR. And I know they lost this match, and they lost after one of the most memorable coffin drops that I've seen as a Darby fanboy. That choo-choo, baby. When I saw Darby drop that coffin drop onto the apron, I knew that it was over for FTR. I was buying into every false finish in this match. But when I saw Darby drop that one, I mean, that was pretty freaking awesome. And FTR helped make Sting look like $1 million. I know both of you guys on the other side of it, you agree that the Sting Darby combo kind of stood out to you guys, right?
Yeah.
This is the combo. This is the Darby that I absolutely love, is the tag team Darby. And Bonds, you and I agree with this one. You know, Des Darby has stood his own as a TNT champion and all that, but the pairing with Sting and actually with others, it works so well because his offense is so unique and can take the punishment and then kind of have this random explosiveness to it. And like he showed tonight, kind of the nail in the coffin per se with that coffin drop to prevent Cash from breaking up that submission. You know, Sting looked like $1 million tonight. The guy is performing years above his age. The stuff, I mean, it's unreal. The strength, the power, and the stuff he's doing, the cross bodies and you know, the stamina he has. It's truly incredible stuff. I mean, when have we seen a legend, an icon, perform the way he did? You know, the first time when we
over 60 years old,
61 years old, and he's doing the stuff that he's doing. And so when we first saw him, we're like, okay, yes, he's paired with this high energy young guy, Darby Allin. And so maybe he'll get a couple high spots, you know, the stinger splashes and that. And then we've seen him jump off the casino chips. We've seen him do these big things. We saw all these other stuff. I'm like, a guy this, you know, seasoned doesn't have to do this stuff, but he's doing it and he's making it look easy and making it look good. It doesn't look, he's looking like, I'm not saying in his prime, but he's looking like he can he stood tall and he was hanging with FTR, and which is to me, yes, such a true tag team that this, you know, industry needs so much more of. There's, you know, true tag teams and just their style, the ground and pound, and true heels. I mean, absolutely loved it. I mean, Bonds, I mean, you got to be loving it too.
Oh man, as a fan of both of these squads, this was just a joy to watch. FTR, they are so good at making their opponents just look like $1 million, man. Like the fact that they were able to make Sting look like he was 30 years old again is just so cool. And I love that about these guys. They do it with everybody. I mean, they do that with every match. They look like $1 million, their opponents. And it's because they get it, and they are so, I think, head and shoulders above most tag teams in the world, because they get it. They get their old school. Yeah, they're old school. They have that old school mentality where they like, okay, we understand the psychology behind it. We understand, we got to make this guy look good. And even though we all kind of were hoping that they would win this match, it bums us out that they didn't, because, that was going to hopefully put them back in the tag division championship picture. But you know what? It didn't really matter, because it was such a good match anyway, that I think that whatever they're going to do with Darby and Sting, and hopefully this continues the storyline, because there was some interference with Tully, putting that chair in the corner. That was really interesting. It didn't work out for them, but I kind of hope this continues, because this match was so good. And I like that. And again, to go back to Darby in the tag division, I like him there because he doesn't have to take so many bumps, and you're able to see his offense and what he does so well without him having to put his body on the line so often. He still does it. Like, he did it for the coffin drop. I mean, that was a nasty move, but he doesn't have to do it every time he's taking a move. It's great that you get the best of both worlds when they're in the tag division with Sting. You get to see Sting, you get to see Darby take less bumps, and you get to see them wrestle the best tag team roster in the world. That's great.
I couldn't have put it any better, Bonds. I think I appreciate you making the point about FTR and how they serve as such a great foundation for other teams that look great. And that was something that I wanted to bring up. So I'm glad you said it, because you said better than I could have. And
without being jobbers.
And although you and SPD talked about it in the chat, and when you first said it, I was a little salty, because I feel like I always had to be defensive of Darby on this show, because SPD is the baby face and everybody loves SPD and and he can come on here and talk trash about Darby and try to
Hey, we don't talk trash here.
You try to knock the Darby Express off the rails, my friend.
You're knocking the Darbster.
And I know it's not mean-spirited, but he's just not your cup of tea per se.
Things have changed.
Drink
your tea.
I get it now. I get it, because when you guys pointed it out, sometimes less is more, and Darby's kind of one of those guys. I get what you mean. You got to protect him a little bit.
Right.
And there's something really cool about how he is so willing to disregard his own safety to win a match. But if you see that over and over and over again, you almost lose the respect and recognition of what he's truly doing. How
he turns into Dolph Ziggler.
Basically a guy who's becomes celebrated for being able to make other people look great and getting beaten up. And I want more for Darby than that. And that's no disrespect. I mean, obviously, Dolph has won.
Oh, he's awesome. That wasn't an insult.
Accolades. No, it's not.
That wasn't an insult at all.
Actually, Dolph Ziggler, one of the best, I think, sellers and underrated guys. One of those what if stories. I don't want Darby to turn into a what if story. I don't want Darby to get injured and to really hurt himself.
Right.
As a guy who loves what Darby does, I see the value in what you guys are talking about. You allow Sting to come in and get those big power moves and to kind of get the pop of hitting those moves that we all remember and love from childhood. And
Nostalgia.
you get to sprinkle in what Darby does best, and that's that balls to the wall, pure speed. Sprinkle that in. Although I was hoping for FTR to win, and I get what you're saying, that it makes sense. They needed a victory. Fresh off of having my heart broken and seeing Darby lose in Chicago, I actually like seeing Darby get a W here. I think it pushes him in the right direction again. And a guy who always teeters on being the crash test dummy, as SPD says, it gives him that momentum again, and it keeps him moving forward in the right direction. Because if Darby racks up too many L's, he certainly could kind of go off the rails. So I thought this match worked in a lot of ways.
Agree. And we'll talk about, I mean, I'm curious of, like you said, Bonds, I do think this will go a little bit longer in terms of, the feud, because the Tully Sting thing is kind of intriguing as well. I like that. And you could see if Tully is going to come back in the ring, it is a good pairing is, the Spears, Tully, or even Dax and Tully versus Sting and Darby. So you can stretch that one out.